Guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to my channel. I'm finally reviewing something. It's not a movie, but it's a TV series that came out back in like 2006 based on a Marvel property. And no, it's not animated. It's the 2006 live action movie of a TV series of Blade, the TV series. Yeah, I got the complete series here. I wish the show lasted longer. I know this didn't have Wesley Snipes in it, but Sticky Fingers is not that bad as Blade. I think he tries his hardest with what the materials given. It has 13 episodes. And yes, it was a Blade TV series and an anime before, uh, Blade showed up in the animated cartoons of Marvel. And yeah, this show is as a series with brains and well as teeth. Gillian Flynn, Entertainment Weekly, and action, suspense, and sexy bloodsuckers. Robert Lloyd, Los Angeles Times. Yeah, this show's pretty good. There are some flaws. I will get to that, but look at that awesome poser Blade with the two guns. Basically, it's a standalone thing because it's not really Whistler's not in it, and it's completely separate from the movies. You got this Asian guy here. He's basically the Whistler, and then you have Lindsay. What was her name? Not Lindsay Wagner. It's Jill Wagner as his ally. She's okay in the show. I think that she becomes a better character later in the series. This is the discs that come with it. There's 4 discs. I haven't seen this in a while. The show is pretty much an adult show, so it's got a lot of blood. It's like baby. This came out before True Blood, and it's not pussified vampires like Twilight. They don't sparkle. They don't. They don't. They could be. They can't be out in the sun. Uh, and they don't have emo hair and they don't talk like this. No, it's real vampires. It's the ones from back in the day, except without the capes. The show has a lot. It has a lot going for it. It's well shot. I think that David Descoyer did some of the production design. He did a commentary on one of the discs. He did it for the season premiere. It's yeah, he did. It was director Peter O'Fallon did the pilot, and then David S. Goyer and Jeff Johns did the screenplay. And yeah, for I saw the pilot a couple years ago, and I liked it because I like that it takes Blade in a new direction. He still uses a sword. He still has badass lines. He still has it's still the feel of the movies. Granted, the movies are better, and it doesn't get too silly like Blade Trinity. And yeah, I like Jill Wagner's character is fine. She there's going to be spoilers in this review, so just to let you know, her character is like a cop, and then she dies because they like bite her and they throw her off her building. And Blade has to like protect her, even though she's turning. He has to protect her from these white villains, that blonde British guys playing the villains of the show. Who is it? Her name is Krista. Yeah, I like that name. Let's see. Marcus is one of the yeah. Marcus makes the final move on the Pure Bloods. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, Shen. That's the name of the Asian guy, and then the other girl. I don't remember her name. But yeah, they're the Pure Bloods. Yeah, they basically go after Blade and the rest of the team. And the show's good. It's got its moments. There are some problems though. I think that that the show ends on a cliffhanger. It didn't need to do that. They should have gone all the way. The villains are very weak. The Pure Bloods. The actors that play him. Well, hold on. I'm gonna go on my tablet to see the names of these actors because I'm like, yeah, it's a good character. Blade's a really good character. He was before Black Panther, so his movie came out in 1998, so 20 years before Black Panther. So he gets an upper hand, and he's a cool. It's a cool premise that he's a vampire hunter, and yet he's half vampire, half human because his mom got bitten when she was born with him and gave birth to him, and he's like a half breed, which is interesting to me. That's why I like Blade. And if you've never seen the show, it is worth a watch. But like I warn you, the ending is a cliffhanger, and it should not have been a cliffhanger. It should have ended on a high note, and that's it. Like to me, when Blade gets the job done and he walks away, that's the end of the series. You don't need to have a cliffhanger that doesn't lead to nothing because it was never a second season because of the poor ratings on TV when this aired. Because it was 2 years after the Blade Trinity movie and the trilogy was over for a while. And I'm like, yeah, they should have done something better with Blade. Here it is. The Blade TV series, 2006. Yeah, Shen is Nelson Lee. Uh, Neil Jackson as Marcus Van Sciver. He's awful in the show. He's not intimidating. He's a very dry Brit, and he has just nothing. He just is nothing on Blade, and he's nothing like Stephen Dorff in the first movie or the villain in the second movie. No, that's the little girl. Um, Jessica Gower is Chase. She's the big-eyed blonde chick. She's from Australia. Yeah. They're just very dry villains. They're not very intimidating. There's a lot of blood in the show. I like that. There's some imagery I think that's not needed. She didn't go on to do much. I mean, after this she did a bunch of TV shows and short films I never heard of. So yeah, the villains are weak and the show has a stupid cliffhanger. Other than that, the action is well done. It's not as good as the movies, but for the budget they had, I think it does it well. The lead guy that plays Blade is fine. I don't think he's terrible. He's a lot better than freaking Idris Elba's been in anything except the Thor movies, maybe because he's not the lead. And I think that it does respect to Blade. It doesn't make it into a joke. And I think if they had done this, if this lasted at least 3 seasons, I would have been happy with that. Because the villain doesn't get his comeuppance. Blade should have taken a sword and cut his freaking head off. Because it's a mature show. It's not for kids, so don't let your kids watch it thinking, oh, it's an MCU movie. It's not. It's very, very bloody. And think True Blood, but with Blade instead of a bunch of other people. But it's fun for what it is. Like if you've never seen the TV show, it's worth a shot. It's worth one watch all the way through. And the pilot's really good. It introduces the characters and the world of Blade in a in a TV syndicated version, and it is fun for what it is. It is a great production. It has a lot going for it. It's a lot better than some of the CW shows because unlike that, it has blood and it has violence and it has sexuality and it gets dark. Like this is darker than Black Lightning because of the gore in it, and and the storylines are very very dark. And it took a lot of risks, which I like. And the fact that this doesn't get any attention because Marvel kind of ignores this. This is kind of like a blight on Blade's legacy. But I'm like, it's not a blight. It's just not half bad. There's a lot of stuff I liked in it. Good looking show. A decent lead for Wesley Snipes' thing. I like Jill Wagner as an actress. I know this show wasn't her strongest thing, but she's a beautiful woman and she's very enchanting. And she's American, which is nice. And like I said, even though I don't like the ending of the series and I don't like the villains, I still like the show. And if you've never seen this, watch it once. It's worth your time. I've never talked about this show, so I'm like, it's decent. It's not horrible. Don't go in with the highest expectations. Just don't go in with the lowest either, because there are way worse shows than this that have been on both from Marvel and from DC in the past 10 years. So I can tell you that from experience. I mean, in Humans, this is not as bad as in Humans. It doesn't disrespect the characters. It's not as boring as Agents of Shield. I like this better than some of the DC shows. Like, um, what was the DC show that I watched? Krypton. I didn't like that show, guys. It was boring. I thought, Kal-El's grandfather was an asshole. If I don't like the lead, then I'm not going to watch your show. With here, I like this guy's Blade, so it's better than a lot of those shows that I mentioned. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I hope you see the Blade TV series. It's a fun thing to see after the movies because Blade turned 20 years old last year, and I want to see the movie again. And the TV series is fun for what it is. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review.